Breathing. I mean, really, between our heart and breathing, which ones, if we don't breathe, our heart stops, what's going to kill us faster? So we know we just breathe continually. Breathe in, we breathe out. Most of us don't think about it any time at all. But breathing during birth, even if you're going to drive to the hospital, be prepped, and have surgery, your breathing is going to change. Because our breathing changes based on how we feel. If we feel stressed, our breathing changes. If we're exercising, our breathing changes. If we're calm, if we're frightened, if we're happy, breathing changes all the time. Some of us have breathing techniques that we use in our sport, in the music we play, in other areas of life. Birth breathing does have a uniqueness. Most of the breathing skills that are offered in breathing are not easily adaptable, adjustable, or sustainable. Lamaze was Bradley was in the nose and out the mouth. And as you discover in the 4 patterns of breathing in this lesson, we can breathe in the nose, out our mouth, and sound calm and relaxed, or we can scream, and variations in between. Other breathing techniques that calm you down or self-hypnotize you, they work until they don't work. And if you can't adapt them, if they're not sustainable, if they don't work in situations that you have no control over, then it's not a comprehensive set of breathing skills. You have to have ones that are adaptable, adjustable, and sustainable. And when Birthing Better mothers and fathers developed these skills, we also had to communicate with our birth coaching partner, because back then in the 70s in the US, when these skills developed, fathers were still birth coaches. So all of the families that developed these skills, really from the beginning of the 70s until the mid-80s, were all part of the childbirth trend that was entirely skills-based through childbirth preparation. And towards the end of that, it began to be information-based childbirth preparation. But by and large, Birthing Better families were very skill-focused, and breathing was something we wanted to get a hold of. We wanted to be able to change how we breathe based on how intense the sensations were in our body or what they were doing to us around us. We couldn't stop breathing if we had to lie on our back to have a vaginal exam done in the middle of a contraction and it hurt 10 times as much. We were still going to breathe. Did we have the discipline and capability of using breathing skills? Well, we first had to have the skills, and then we had to choose to adapt them, really choose to adapt them, particularly when things were happening to or around us or sensations internally that just felt too much. That's why we developed also the resource about the positive and negative brain, because perception is reality. If things are too much, we have to then discipline ourselves to use skills to meet the challenge of what's challenging. So these breathing skills work. They just work. They have to adapt them. When you practice them, you just practice them when you're sitting down listening to me. You practice them driving to work, driving your kids to daycare, eating, doing the dishes, entertaining yourself before you go to bed at night, first thing in the morning, when you're sitting on the toilet. Just once you get how to find those 4 variations, those 4 patterns and the variations within each 4, and you find the variations that are the ones that keep you calmer, then at any time of the day you can use those skills. If you get disrupted, if you feel nervous or frightened or anxious or pissed off, you can use those skills because they're life skills. We breathe all the time. So all of the Birthing Better skills that we have for birthing means right now, because birth is a right now experience. No matter where you birth, who's present, what your beliefs are, your choices, lack of choices, how your choices change, or what happens to or around you, you are going to have to breathe every single moment of that time. And our greatest choice in childbirth, greatest choice in doing the activity of birthing our baby is how we inhale and how we exhale. It gets down to that, and we're very aware of it. Easy lesson, very rich.